friends, welcome back to the Film Alchemist podcast, the show where we look at movies we love, break them apart, to find out what gives them their magique. I'm your host, Josh Griffey, joined again on this journey to Camp Crystal Lake by my friend and returning co-host,
Jamin Mink.
Jamin Mink, helping me dig up a corpse to reinvigorate our worst nightmares. In Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. Jamin, we've done a lot of these now.
Yep.
Give me your initial thoughts and take on Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Again, it's the end of the Tommy Jarvis run. Not terrible. I mean, Tommy is...
These lukewarm takes were...
Yeah,
not bad.
Tommy's not... he's not a stick figure anymore. He doesn't just randomly show up to chop a hand off. He's
not a programmed karate dummy.
He's a human this time.
He's a real boy.
He's a real boy.
I think I like this movie more than you, because I know our divergent path, right? This one is way too in on the joke.
Yeah.
What I like is, although it's way too in on the joke, I feel like they're really clever about it not being an in-your-face parody, which is, this movie is essentially a parody of a Friday the 13th, but also gives you a pretty good Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So I think, while it is too in on the joke, right? Like, obviously, we had talked before the show about the smiley face is one of those bridges where we cry. I'm like, I like the smiley face, you're not in.
No, the smiley face, I don't dig it.
The gravedigger telling us, the audience, we have weird taste. It's almost like the filmmaker hates us.
Or thinks we're retarded.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese, the rat is obviousness.
He's really not into us as an audience, but he needed the paycheck.
Yeah.
I think, though, while making the parody of it, and they're really in on it, I'm with you on this. The one thing they did that bothered me were the kids, like, 3 times. The little camper kids were like, I think we're dead meat. And I'm like, all right, come on, I get it. I think for the most part, they're pretty clever in how they deploy the submarining of our expectations, right? I think they do pretty good. And again, the pillars of this, Jason is awesome. This is the strong booty game, Jason.
This is the supernatural Jason, the first.
Yes,
he's reanimated corpse.
The first full Franken Jason. And we have good characters in this one. I like the characters that we kill in this one. Yeah. I think it hits on all of the 3 pillars of a Friday the 13th movie for me. It is very in on the joke, but I think done in a pretty clever way, man.
Yeah, there's like you said, there's some characters in it that were good. I like the sheriff.
The sheriff is great.
He's a dad with a daughter. Unfortunately for him, she's an attractive daughter, and she's super horny at one point.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to get to her because there's a whole thing going on with her.
There's a lot with her.
Yeah. I knew I liked this one right off the bat, right? I was like, whatever they show me, this is my favorite opening to a Friday movie. I like the kind of gothic horror of this opening, right?
Yeah.
Of them going out to the cemetery to dig up Jason.
Yeah, with Horseshack from fucking Cotter.
I like the idea of that.
But Tommy, we gotta dig him up.
Exactly. They're just going to dig up a corpse, which will get them thrown back in the loony bin. But again, it's this version of Tommy who somehow has escaped, again, his psychosis, but his neuroticism over Jason, right? Yeah. His plan is to dig him up just to light him on fire.
Make sure he's there. Right. And burn it.
It's this cool, clever symbolism of Tommy is just keeping this thing alive, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's within or without, Tommy's the reason that Jason has to come back.
Inadvertently brings him back.
And even if Tommy would have just gassed him, that's it. The movie's over. The series is over, right? He has to stab him. And it's this really cool Frankenstein moment when they uncover him and he has the worm face. It's just fucking awesome. Hit by lightning, Jason wakes up.
Yep.
And it's really cool. There's actually a shot in the start of this that I love, which is when he gets out of the cemetery, or the grave, right? He kind of sits there and just stares at Tommy in this abstract way. I really wonder what's happening in Jason's head at that point.
Let me look with you with my good eye, fucker.
He's like, get out of here, worms. I got to see this kid.
It's like, I had 2 good eyes before someone made me fall down on my machete.
Right. Well, also, it's like, wouldn't the maggots, like, that's the buffet, the eyeball.
Yeah, the eyeballs.
But his eyeball is good. It's so evil and all sitting. But yeah, until...
Oh, and don't forget other eyeballs, the fucking Bond intro eyeball.
Right, well, we'll get to that thing. Until Horseshack interrupts, right?
Yeah.
He does not go for Tommy. there is this brief moment of what is happening in that moment between Jason. It's almost this Frankenstein creation.
Maybe
thing,
he's
kind
of like a vampire. He's, bordello of blood. You've got to put blood on the heart. So he needs to whet his appetite with that first. I'm gonna rip this guy's fucking heart out.
I was thinking maybe Tommy's almost the heart outside of his body.
Yeah,
and maybe there is a moment of, man, I'm glad I fucked you up back then.
Yeah.
Because you keep bringing yeah. Like, I'm pretty glad you've kept this thing going for me. It's been boring down here in this
like, you're my best friend, bud. We're going to be homies for a long time.
Yeah. And then he turns around, punches his friend hard out, obviously. Gets his mask, and the turnaround into full Jason. It's just, it's fucking glorious. It's a really good intro. And then that's when we realize it's going to be a comedy the rest of the way. Because we do the James Bond walk and slash, which...
We should have realized it was going to be a joke when Tommy is now Freddy from Return of the Living Dead.
I like it. I
don't feel so good.
But this is what we talked about, right? We're 6 movies in. You got to take a different swing. You got to take a different look, right? And I applaud every sequel that, at the sake of somewhat disappointing us, gives us something new, right? Even Part 5.
Maybe they looked at Part 5 and just said, man, this thing is a little more serious than it needs to be. I mean, we broke Tommy, so let's just take a hard other direction. Let's make it kind of fun.
Well, I think that's the mantra of this one, right? Is it plays, but that's what I mean. There's an expert understanding of the horror movie scene, right? So the anatomy of the horror movie scenes and the music and the pacing all works really well. Mm-hmm. But then through the characters and the behavior they're showing us, they're constantly subverting.
Right.
And not in an intentionally... These aren't characters that are just out there doing like Rodney Dangerfield bits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They feel perfectly Friday the 13th, but are weaponized against the Friday formula. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think it's that clever filmmaking mixed to where the jokes are okay for me at that point.
Right.
It's campy beyond belief because that's what they wanted, not because that's the best they could do.
Yeah.
So I think I appreciate the cleverness of the filmmaking, even if it is a little bit to the detriment of some of the horror of the movie.
That was my only real drawback from it, was it's a lot more tongue-in-cheek than I think it needed to be.
Like every fucking scene.
Right. But you're going to put your own jokes in your head. It's your own MST3K when you're watching Friday the 13th. It's not a... You don't need them to tell you the jokes. You've got the jokes.
Right.
Like Choose Your Own Story back from the 90s.
Right.
I can read the book and I know which ending I'm going for.
Right.
That's my only thing. They just think the audience is too dumb to make their own funnies.
That's the question I kept coming back to. I was like, are they such fans that they're sharing a joke with us, or is it
that's
you
the way
guys
I
are
didn't
dumb?
Look at it.
You guys are dumb.
Maybe it's just we want in on a joke too. We've done all these for so many years.
Yeah.
Now we want to have fun
They're
with it too.
They're fans like us that are like, can you believe they let us, like they're letting the inmates run the asylum? That's how I like to think of it. If you take a job directing Friday the 13th, I mean, that would be my dream job. But if you took the job to be like, I'm going to educate these fools.
Yeah.
I would say you did bad because you gave us a Friday the 13th movie that is only different to those of us in the know. Like, my mom would watch that and not understand why they're lampooning. Yeah. Right? She would just be like, oh, are they all like this? This is good fun.
This is fun with some blood. No.
Right.
No, it's not. It's not.
Right. I like to think that it's one of us, right? This is almost like a fan parody, right?
Yeah.
Like you see like a Funny or Die video version of Jason. But this, again, I don't think it's at the detriment of the good stuff that Jason does, right? The kills are phenomenal again in this movie. To me, of all the horror movie series, Friday is the pinnacle for horror movie kills.
Yeah.
Friday, and again, they have so many opportunities because they kill so many fucking people per movie. But the kills in this one are fantastic. It has a couple that are just unbelievably good. I love the triple decapitation.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, for sure.
We were talking about the beforehand, and the smiley face guy is talking about how that woman should be back in the kitchen. And what does it speak to the fact that it's his machete is the one that chops her head off?
Right.
That's kind of something deep to think about.
Jason holding his arm.
Yes.
Right? No, but that scene is a perfect example of what I think this movie does pretty well. They do a lot of these cutaway to side characters, right, to do some kind of horror routine. So this movie is set up, or this scene is set up as a comedy scene, right? Mm-hmm. So you have your classic weekend warriors. They're on a corporate retreat. They get caught by a woman. They can't deal with it. Then we cut to the macho butch guy, right?
Yeah.
Who's by himself because he's so fucking caveman. He can't even associate with him.
He can't even lose without being an asshole about losing.
Right, and the women should be in the kitchen. And we just know this is going bad because we've already seen she's far more capable than all of them.
It's like she jumped out of the fucking trees to kill the other ones, dude.
Right.
You
and that's
sucked.
what I mean. It's this funny... It's a really funny scene, but then once the Jason-ness of it starts... it works perfectly fine as a Friday scene, right? So what I think is good is that they take their comedy shots, but they don't cheapen and shortchange us on the horror stuff, right? I think the overall tone of the movie, this is one of the least scary entries because of the jokes, but they still give us the cathartic kills, right? The triple decapitation, the smiley face right there. Again, it's cheesy, but it's also fun. That's still a good kill. He still murders this guy.
If they were
going to
put a face in the wall, it should have been like the old Bugs Bunny. Like he smashes his face, and it should have come out and been like a mangled up, like his tongue sticking out, like oh shit, like it stuck into the tree. I mean, I know it was the '80s and the smiley face was like a thing back then, but I didn't need the smiley face.
You wanted him to be killed in a kitchen wearing an outfit or something.
Yeah, like put him in a dress.
He should be punished for his sexism. Yeah, I mean. And also, I'm like, why are you killing the lady that won the corporate retreat?
Yeah.
She's out here fighting this, macho corporate America bullshit of the 80s, and she just has to die. So that the goofy accountant guy can... But again, even that, like him shooting Jason with the paintball gun, is a funny scene in this movie because it seems stupid, but it's as logical as the sheriffs that keep shooting bullets at him. Right? So that's what I think this movie does well is... I think they get it in both ways, right? And again, I think the basis of the sheriff, the deputy, the sheriff's daughter, and Tommy work really well as a core for this movie. Mm-hmm. Of all the movies we've talked about, I think this is the strongest main core of characters that are helping us actually carry the narrative. The concept of the sheriff in a town that's renamed itself Forest Green, I think.
Yeah, that's the new camp, is Camp Forest Green.
Right. Again, they're reopening a camp, which it's... What the fuck?
Yeah.
But he's just a guy trying his best, right?
Yeah.
He tries to give Tommy an out, like, just get the fuck out of here. Don't make me throw you back in the loony bin. Just get the fuck out of my town. Tommy can't. And then his daughter comes in, and this is where it's a somewhat believable story for us, right? This is just an okay guy trying his best. He's this hard-ass, sheriff with all these great one-liners about wearing balls as earrings and formaldehyde. But he has no control over his daughter.
None at all.
What is going on with his daughter in this movie? You have a daughter now. You have a brand new daughter. Is this your future?
God, I hope not.
Is she going to be driving hot rods with guys' faces in her crotch?
I will be Roy by the end of it.
The gratuitous cutaways to the crotch shots in that scene. Because it's jeans, too. It's not even an upskirt. It's jeans. This is ludicrous.
Yeah. At what point was Tommy like, can I, sit the fuck up, please?
Well, he asked 3 times, and she keeps, no, stay down there. And I think it's intentionally jeans and not... Yeah. Again, it's a subtle way to subvert your expectation, because it's a lady driving the hot rod, right? Mm-hmm. It's, there's a lot to it. I think there's a lot of cleverness in this. But with the daughter... What is going on with this girl? Why is she so immediately... Is Tommy a weapon against her father?
Oh yeah, it's the whole she's gonna fix what's broken. He's in the jail cell. He's broken. He needs to be fixed. And then it just turned out that he's got some kind of weird attachment to a ghost demon monster guy. I mean, she picked the worst person in the world. I mean,
or the best. If you wanted daddy's attention.
Yeah, if you wanted daddy's attention, you've got it, sweetie.
You fucking got it.
Yeah, you've got it in spades.
I mean, because it starts off as he's kind of cute, even though he's in there for digging up a corpse.
Yes.
Right? We kind of just brush over that he was an inmate in an asylum who now digs up corpses in your town. She's like, I might still hook up with him.
Yeah.
And then we get pretty fast to I'm just going to help him on a crime spree.
Yes.
Right? So not only evading the police in high-speed chases, but when she puts the deputy in the jail, I was like, she's all the way in on the crime spree.
Yeah, and we should
and you never know if she believes it.
You should also mention the greatest single word in movie history, Megan.
Yeah, the deputy.
Just fuck that guy.
Because we were watching it before we started doing this, which is, wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
Yeah.
And you're like,
bang.
No, you're not bang. The gun goes.
Yeah.
All right, this guy's got issues, right?
With that fucking laser pointer. God. just the biggest laser ever.
I like it because you know this small town cop,
Yes.
right? It's one of those two-dimensional things that lets
Yep.
us do a lot of the work for them. Small town sheriff wants big fancy gadgets so
Yep.
he can feel like he's a big time
to take out the criminals that he doesn't have. You do not have. The gravedigger was the worst thing that you're ever going to deal with.
Right. I mean, he's probably going to use that to just like shoot raccoons out of like local
If
municipal
that,
trash
he's
cans.
going to use it to shoot the fucking mirror out in the bathroom because he obviously is going to quick draw that shit every day.
But I thought it was cool, man. I liked her putting, because this is the thing about the deputy too that's really funny is when Megan pulls that gun on him, I'd be like, fucking shoot me.
Yeah.
Like, once you put me in this jail cell, my reputation in this small town is gone.
I am
You
done.
stole my overcompensator gun and locked me in the jail cell. Every other police officer is dead by the end of the night fighting Jason.
Yeah.
And I'm here in a...
I'm the one that's left alive.
Yeah. Kill me now. It's
Yeah.
over for me. Like, you're not going to shoot me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see the sequel where he is now out there like, oh, get Jason and redeem my name.
Yeah.
He can be part of our Jason hunting
Yeah.
squad. We can.
The Suicide Squad.
Yeah. The sheriff. My name is... Can you guys call me Bang? Please
Yeah.
call me Bang.
Please call me Bang. You bang.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What were your absolute favorite kills in this one? Pinnacle kill. For me, Sheriff Garris getting folded in half.
Yeah.
That is fucking out of nowhere and brutal.
Yep.
Again, for a guy who seems like he should make it through the movie, right? He is not your classic sheriff who doesn't listen. Eventually he comes around and starts to understand.
Yeah, he gets that there's something amiss, but he's not going to let Tommy off the hook because he knows there's something going on. And really, he's right. Tommy's the one that started all this fucking shit. He's in the ground. Just leave it alone. But no, we need to put a fucking
Tommy
lightning rod in his heart.
We definitely let Tommy off the hook of, see, he's right. It is Jason.
Yeah.
Well, who dug him up?
Yeah.
Who dug him up? And
no
instead
one
of
said,
burning
hey,
him...
dig him up.
Yeah, and also it's like you really had to shank the dead body a
Yeah.
bunch. You couldn't just finish with the fire. If he had just put the dirt back on.
Yeah.
This
Just
is
look, been
100% Tommy's
he's
fault.
dead, and we're done. Credits, movie's over.
Every part of this is 100% Tommy's fault.
Yeah.
I thought that kill was absolutely phenomenal. I'm trying to think. The triple decapitation also, that is a good one. There's a scene that's not a kill, but I love is when they come into the cabin at the woods at the end, and there's just fucking blood.
Yeah.
everywhere. It looks like the Overlook Hotel when they cut to the girls.
It's the elevator. Yeah. It's like no human body holds that much fucking blood. It was just
that's them being in on the joke again.
Insane amount of blood.
It's so fun though.
Really, the one I really liked was Horshack getting killed.
Yeah.
The fucking hand, like, they put so much effort into grossing that hand out, like the fingernails and everything. Mm-hmm. That should have been, like, that was a great shot.
It actually just dawned, because this is, I have to think extra hard on the mic now because we've done so many of these, they blend. This actually has a ton of great kills, because the yuppies at the start.
Yeah.
This is the scene, too, because this is early enough where we still don't know exactly how in on the joke they are. We're like, all right, James Bond thing, weird.
Yeah.
But when he just gets out and he's like, all right, scumbag, with his little tiny
with
tiny
the
gun.
Tiniest gun ever. Like, he
Yes.
should have pulled that out of his garter belt or something.
But also, this is where he's like, just drive at him. That'll scare him. She drives up and she's like,
and he blows out the tire.
Yeah, well, that didn't fucking work.
Yeah.
So
Any more bright ideas?
So now we're just riffing on this.
Yeah.
Like, it's absurd. Like, why are you even out here? But stabs that guy, throws him over his shoulder, which is amazing. And this was a fun production story I read. When he went to stab the spear through the window, the point, before it broke, right, actually slid along the glass. And when it poked through, was just inches away from fully stabbing the actress who dove that way, specifically to be flat and be out of the spear's range. Almost fucking got murdered on set. Or not murdered, but, impaled by a spear.
Yeah, dead.
Not a good work day.
It would have been a real bad work day because that was the director's wife. So
Right,
it would have been a real bad day.
You think this was some kind of, like, insurance fraud?
Yeah, insurance fraud, big time.
Yeah, I thought that whole scene, those kills were fantastic. The one I love is the RV kill.
Yes.
Because again, this is another scene they do, right? Because they love these cutaways to characters that are on their own, right? The yuppies, the corporate raiders, and these guys fucking in the RV.
The worst
fucking
sex
scene is
ever.
It's bad, but it's so funny because she's like, it's Inagata-Davida level long, right?
Yeah.
It's like a Meatloaf song. We gotta fuck for 10 minutes. Then she's mad. Then it's go outside and fix the wire. So they're playing with our expectations constantly. when he turns up the music and is like, woo!
Yeah.
He's like dancing to this teenage Frankenstein, driving the RV really fast. But when he smashes her fucking face through the wall, and it's
that's the face press I liked. I liked
brilliant.
That face press versus the fucking smiley face.
But they're different. They're different, but it's good. It's still good.
Yeah.
I like that face press. Might actually be my favorite of the movie. No, that's two. The back snapping is still the gnarliest. But I fucking love the RV scene. And this has also the iconic, this was the first giant action stunt I remember in any Friday movie. They actually flipped an RV.
This one was the last shot that they filmed altogether because the director was so horrified that they were going to fuck it up and they would be out the RV. So we're like, we're doing this at the end and whatever we get's what we get. So whatever. It's got to be good. So.
But it's great. I mean, honestly, I was thinking, is there another stunt of that caliber in any of the movies?
The only thing I could
because they do a lot of practical, and I know Hodder and New Blood, he's like falling through stairs and stuff, but nothing like a big vehicle.
Well, no, I mean, I think the only thing that would compare would be the 40-second burn of Hodder and New Blood.
Right, but that's like a small personal effect. I mean, it's still fucking terrifying.
Fucking personal effect. He was on fire for 40 seconds.
That's terrifying. You're right, but this is the first like action set piece.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it has that iconic scene.
I think the worst case scenario on this one is the stuntman may get hurt in this giant boxy fucker that we're flipping away from the driver's side. Worst case scenario, we're going to be out an RV and we'd have to figure something else out.
Or an RV driver.
In that giant box, the guy might have fallen out.
He's in the scam with that guy's wife, the director's wife.
Right.
No, I thought it was cool because then we get the iconic, because again, we were talking about, this is the first official all the way supernatural Jason, right? This is gothic horror Jason in this one, right? This is the zombie creature creation coming from the grave. When he gets on top of that RV and is just standing there in the smoke and flame, it's just iconic. You're like, that should be on my wall. Like, that's a shot I want. And I thought that was rad, man. Another weird moment in this movie that I can't get out of my head is Jason lumbering over the little girl in the bed. Because she's been seeing him walk back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And there's this weird thing in the series where we talk about there's not a lot of kids in any of the camps, right?
Right.
A lot of the carnage is before kids ever arrive.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one where Jason walks into that room, right? And this should be, the fox in the hen house. This is the slaughterhouse.
This is every dad and mom's worst fucking nightmare.
Right, exactly. Like horny teenagers, I think all of us adults secretly don't mind seeing murder.
Yeah.
Because one, they're annoying to us as we're old. But they're annoying because we miss doing the things that they're doing. Like, I miss fucking in RVs.
Right. I miss being the worst thing I had to worry about is if I was a dead fuck or not. That's not anymore.
Right? Put this in my computer.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah.
Mortgage. Right? Like, fuck teenagers. No. But this is the weird part. Jason lumbers over her. The specific girl who's seen him too, not the other kids. She's at the back of the bunk. And when he leans in, it just is so fucking creepy. It's one of those kind of still moments in this weird comedy.
Yeah.
This feels like almost like a Friday or a Nightmare on Elm Street movie for most of it, but this is a really calm, scary moment.
Like, what's going through his head is
what
like,
is going through his head?
Does she meet Jason's criteria to be murdered? Because he was going to kill her. I'm telling you,
I don't
that
think
was a straight up.
He gets
there's
in those
more
cabins
blood outside.
Twice.
There is more blood outside than there is inside.
He's in the cabin with her, right? And he leans in. And he doesn't kill her. And then later he kicks the fucking door down, still is called away by Tommy. So twice he's in there with kids and could slaughter all of them. But he doesn't. And again, this gets back, it's not really a beef based on they killed and took away my mother. It's not really the beef on they took away me, right? Because it's not the teenage counselors that are all horned up. There is this notion of we never fully know how bullied and traumatized he was until Freddy versus Jason.
Freak show.
Yeah. So maybe that's it. And there's this, but she seems like a really nice, sweet kid. She doesn't. She's not the one who keeps saying dead meat. Like that kid.
Fuck that kid.
That kid feels like the little fucker that you would want to murder. So it's just a weird, still moment, and that's what I like about this movie a lot. Is even in the kind of comedy, tongue-in-cheek, seemingly disrespecting its audience movie, that's a really horrifying scene.
Yeah.
Like, that's just good horror work.
Yeah,
that's really scary.
I have a hell of a time watching stuff, now that I've had kids, watching kids in any kind of trouble.
I mean, I would have turned the movie off at this phase of my life.
I can't remember.
If he slaughtered a kid, I'm out.
I was talking to somebody about Stephen King movie or something, and it was
Fuck, dude, the new Pet Cemetery.
fucking, what's the one that comes to my mind every time is Maximum Overdrive,
Right.
with the fucking blood bag on the mannequin. I can't remember who I was talking to, but he said, I mean, it's just a fucking baseball kid. I was like, yeah, but that's like my kid's head popping off, and I don't do that well. Or like, not It Part 2, but It Part 1. I've only ever watched that once. I cannot get past fucking Georgie just getting annihilated every time. I've only watched it once, and I can't do it anymore.
Well, it has this layer of wish fulfillment, not on the part of me as a parent,
Right.
but it's, you know, it's kind of a ghost, and maybe Georgie gets sucked down that drain and dies of natural causes. Pennywise is a supernatural symbolism, right?
It just fucks
when
with
I
me
saw the
every
new
time.
Pet Cemetery, it's so joyless, this movie,
Yeah.
right? It's as if the first one wasn't brutal enough.
Right.
They're like, how can we make it more sad? In that one,
Because you're
it's
asking yourself,
fucking
am-
brutal.
I probably would go bury my kid to get him back.
oh, for sure. No.
I don't care if I have to feed him fucking
story.
corpses for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. When Amy was going into labor, right? She went into labor, it was like 2 a.m. And I was like, oh, you know how these things are. You could be in there for a long
Right.
fucking time. So I had a stack from the Iliad, my used bookstore. I had a stack right by the door. And on the way out, I'm like, it's 2 a.m. Like, all right,
just take whatever.
You know, grab her suitcase. All right, I'm going to need a change of clothes, whatever for me. I don't want to have to come back. Grandparents, you got the other kid, or you're going to be good babysitting.
Right.
Here's this and that. You're doing all this stuff. I just grabbed a book. So I got there, and now my adrenaline's pumping, right? So I'm
Right.
awake. I'm like, all right, I'll read a couple chapters, and I'll go to bed. The book I grabbed was Pet Cemetery. It was the top of the show. So I'm in there watching my wife getting ready to give birth to our
Right.
kid. And I couldn't put the book down because it was so horrible.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up thing. That book, I don't think the kid Gage gets killed until like 180 or
Oh,
90
God.
pages in. It's just extra emotional torture.
Yeah.
But the chapter where they actually describe him digging the grave, his whole like breaking into the
Yeah.
cemetery, opening the cave. I was just sitting, like, even right now, I'm getting like shaky thinking about it. It's brutal. Now that you have a kid, you're like, I can't.
Yeah.
And then I went and saw the movie, and I'm like, fuck, they really got that thing in the book, which is just imagine that, you know, like everyone, oh, the Joker, you know, one bad day, whatever. I'm like, fuck the Joker,
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery. Like, there's nothing in life to me that could ever be worse than, you know, the death of just innocent, perfect
Did
little
nothing
kids.
to anybody.
No, well, it's
Right.
like the, you know, you see a little casket on the news or whatever. You're like, that's the worst thing.
Yep.
That's the fucking worst thing. And so this is the first time Friday kind of broached this topic, right?
Yeah.
You guys like seeing horny teenagers get murdered.
It's like, how would you like it if I snuffed this little blonde kid that did nothing to anybody?
What happens in the series if Jason fucking cuts her head in half?
Right.
What if he splits her in half
I mean,
right
'cause
there?
You're going to have to pay to kill a kid anyway, so you
Yeah.
may as well make it fucking count.
Well, that's what I mean. Assuming that even got through the ratings
Right.
board, right? Which they were pretty hard on for this series at
Yes.
this point. It's an interesting moment in a very, you know, silly entry.
Right.
What if they had gone that route?
Yeah.
And I think it was one of their, to their credit, they're smart enough to be like, nope. Ooh boy, this is gonna turn some heads if we do this.
We'll let Freddie keep the kids. And
Yeah.
We'll take the
Yeah,
teenagers.
send him back out to wrestle Tommy. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those moments. It's one of my great what ifs in horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, what if Jason actually had slaughtered all those fucking kids?
You would have not got Jason in space. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, I
It-
think
it
our
would've-
fun buddy murdering teens is over.
Yep.
We wouldn't have gotten Creighton Duke. We wouldn't have gotten Manhattan. We wouldn't have gotten anything.
You would have gotten a lot of fucking dark.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And that is funny to think that in these movies especially, there is a line too far.
Yeah.
You know, there just is. At the end of all of these journeys, we still have to walk away and feel okay, right? I used to be a writer for the TV show 1,000 Ways to Die, and it was always our mandate, is every script we turned in, you had to let them know how the main character was a piece of shit, right? It was a classic punishment for sin set
Right.
up on the show. You know, because one time I wrote a story, and I remember the note was, no, they're a good person. And he's like, well, yeah, good people die.
Yeah, good people die
You
all
know,
the time.
Good people are stupid and die.
Yeah.
And his note back to me, the way the head writer, who's my buddy, he explained it to me is, no one wants to be watching a show about hardworking, homemaking soccer mom who picks her kids up from church and then takes them to soccer practice.
And then
And
dies
she
in the
gets-
car.
Yeah, and then a fire hydrant explodes and rips her head off, and now her kids are orphans.
Right.
Because that makes you feel bad. That could happen to you.
Yes.
You want to see, because we got to the point where they're like, no more frat guys. Like, you can't kill frat guys anymore because it's too easy, and we've done it 1,000 times. So you had to find a way to make them bad people to die. And even this series, something like Friday, that has mountains of murders, there are still these boundaries.
There's still a
where
line
it's
that they're not going to cross.
It's weird to think that, and maybe this is why the old drunk's right. We do have a sixth sense of entertainment.
Yeah.
Because we still have to be able to walk away and not feel bad for rooting for all these murders.
It's like, all this time I've wanted Jason to win, and now he's murdered a small child. I'm done, and I suck.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. I feel like part 3, once Shelley was unleashed on us, that's when we were like, you know what? Fuck these kids.
Yep.
And that was the last time. Like, even part 2, I was still pretty with the campers. And then 3 on, you start, and this is the logical question.
Yeah.
Is, you know, oh, you like him to kill campers? Well, you know what? There's probably 20 kid campers to every one adult. Like, how do you like it? I thought that was a really shockingly weird moment. Also, that Tommy just finds a book of witchcraft in that town is pretty cool. I want to see the lady who runs the occult bookshop in Forest Green.
Yeah.
And is she involved in Jason's conception? That's what I wanted. What did you think of the Flaming Lake ending?
I mean, it's just, it goes to the whole, you know, it's fire and water. It looks cool. Yeah. We're going to make it so it's extra dangerous. We're not just trying to drown Jason. We're going to burn him on the way through. I didn't
understand the fire. Cause you're like, he can swim under the fire. Plus he's taking 800 bullets.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought it'd be cool if Tommy had to like give himself up. You know what I mean? It felt like a lot of people died for his mistake, and then he just gets to skate and probably gets to marry that sheriff's daughter who's badass.
See, and that's what the next one should have been. They should have brought back Tommy and Megan as the de facto Jason hunters.
Their kid is part of the Jason hunting squad. Yeah,
they're the Professor X to the whole group.
Yeah, I think besides Reggie the Reckless's grandfather, the sheriff in this one is the saddest I've ever been about one of them. I really wanted him to make it because I thought him and her and Tommy walking out, you know, arm in arm, like we did it.
The fucking A-Team ending.
Yeah, and she's just like, oh, I'm gonna go blow Tommy, and he's like, not if I blow his head off. You know, what I mean? Like that would have been a great ending. I missed the sheriff. I thought he was.
Yeah,
a shockingly capable good man in this fucking terrible Forest Green world
of shit.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. This movie, I like that. Even, and you know this, I am not a horror comedy guy. This is a big thing now.
Yeah,
Shudder has tabs for it. Let's do a comedy in a horror movie setting, right? Like there are some great ones. Shaun of the Dead does it superbly. But why is Shaun of the Dead work? Because when it's time for the horror scene, it's good. Mm-hmm. It's good. You can tell they love zombie movies. They do it well. Fine. You know, there are good ones, but you can't cheapen the horror.
Yeah.
And I don't think this one does it. I think overall there's not a lot of dread and terror in this, but also I think that's because it's the 6th entry.
Yeah.
It's just the 6th time we've done it. And also once you dehumanize Jason more and more, I feel like it took them a minute to figure out how to remake him scary, which for whatever, I know you're not a huge fan of the New Blood. They did make Jason pretty terrifying again.
Oh, yeah.
That one. So, you know, I think this one, again, bottom half.
Yeah.
But still very enjoyable. I thought it was a really cool, I like the gothic horror of it. I love the scene with the kid is what will always stick with me. And the kills are phenomenal.
Yeah.
What else do you guys need from Jason?
It was just a, they should have done a little bit more here and there, but overall, it wasn't the worst.
It was not the worst.
Not the worst.
Our lukewarm takes on Friday. Yeah. All right, guys. You will be hearing from Jamin on The New Blood, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Jason X. Maybe Freddy versus Jason. I'm trying to figure out how to get the most voices of all of you guys. Because everyone wants a piece of Freddy versus Jason. Everyone I talk to, that's the one they all want a piece of. Because it's the fucking best. I think I said for Nightmare on Elm Street, I would have it as my 3rd favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie behind Dream Warriors and Dream Master, which a lot of people were mad at me. Dream Master shouldn't be that high, they said. For Friday the 13th, I think it is probably my 2nd favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, it's
way up there.
This one might be Freddy versus Jason might be 4 or 5.
And well, we're gonna do an official rating once you guys have heard all these. But yeah, I gotta think them through. But anyways, guys, thank you again for joining us on Crystal Lake. We're halfway through ish, a little over. A lot more coming to you. We're gonna go see The Lighthouse. We can't see Parasite because we're stuck in the Midwest and they won't give it to us. So we're going to find 2 other gems to throw your way. A horror movie for every day of the month, guys. We're trying our best. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you find podcasts. Be sure to share with your friends on all your social medias. And now you can find us on YouTube at Nerd Alchemist. That's plural with an S at the end. Until next time, for the film Alchemist, I'm Josh Griffey.
I'm Jamin Mink.
I should be wearing your balls for earrings. It's a good dad.
He's a good dad.
It's a good dad one.
Good dad.